Hello everybody! Welcome to another Sunday Funday, and as you can see, nothing really came out, so it's all Captive State. Slowly but surely we're running around through the alphabet. Captain Marvel, Captive State. I can't tell y'all how not give a shit I was heading into this movie. I know a lot of people are making a big deal because it's from the director who did the last two Planet Ape movies, which are so fantastic, and they weren't. I have made my opinions about War for the Planet of the Apes and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes very apparent that I think they are very overrated films. And this movie was not being given as much fanfare, not as many people were talking about it. And by the time we got to it, we gotta see why. To sum up Captive State, because I will give my opinions about this real quick. This movie's dull as rocks.
I'll say to sum up the movie, aliens.
Aliens, man.
I was trying to do the History Channel thing, sorry.
Take off half the skin on my elbow. Oh... Yeah, everybody knows this movie's about aliens taking over and then an insurgency.
All those that have heard about this movie.
Yeah, if you see a trailer, you know it's about aliens. This is all pretty much about an insurgency that takes place in Chicago, and they're fighting to be free. Movie. Realistically, that is a simplistic plot for a film in all essence. You could do more to it. You just need to make sure you have good characters, good character motivations, good writing, and at least a decent plot, for lack of a better term, because you need to have a reason why they're fighting. And
yeah, it takes place in the future where...
a little bit future, like
2027.
Yeah, it's not very deep in the future. Yeah, it's not like they're flying
less than
around.
10 years in the future.
Yeah.
But basically, aliens have come to Earth, and rather than fight them, we decided that to save lives, we're just gonna surrender to them, let them strip mine our planet.
Yeah, because that's...
and take over our governments.
Why is never really explained. At the very beginning of the movie, you see a brief bit where these one couple are trying to escape for some reason because the aliens are there, and something happens, and this wife and husband in there in the front seat just explode.
Yeah, it kind of like throws something at them, and their heads explode.
The whole thing, and it's like, okay, now. That sounds really horrific. It seems like aliens have really strong powers, or maybe they're like very telepathic or something. That is never used again throughout the entire movie. It's just one thing that happens, and you never see that ever again.
Yeah, so we get this ridiculous bit where they shove their hand, their spiky hand through a window, and it's like...
Yeah, and literally, guys, just like doing that. It's like a cat fighting a cat toy.
Like, stop it.
Yeah, it's like... There's... The biggest problem that hurts it really quickly is the fact that it's never really explained why the aliens are here beyond just strip mine purposes. I know people are like, well, it's used in play movies. Yeah, and that's kind of the problem. It's like... We have seen this story done before, and whenever that happens, what do humans do? They fight back. Hell, in Cowboys vs. Aliens, the idiotic, oh, the aliens want gold. Why are they wanting to get it from Earth? There's plenty of Earth planets that are not inhabited that they could take it from, and where it's naturally occurring without having to deal with the pesky little insects that are called humans.
It's not really explained either why we just...
give up.
Why we just hand over the planet, don't even bother to put up a fight, really, because...
Yeah, it would have been one thing if, like, they just vaporized an entire city and that was at that.
I mean, it'd even be one thing. They kind of explain that's to minimize just absolute
the destruction that's gonna happen. It's like, it's a war. Are people this pussified that, oh, their people might die? That's war. That's freaking war, people.
But even still, most people seem to they just get rid of the government, and now these aliens who are referred to only as
the legislator.
Yeah, the legislators, or more derogatorily, the roaches.
There is a symbolism there that I can tell, and it's I can't remember the name of the director of this film. I just know he did the Planet of the Apes movies, but it's supposed to be a whole thing about the elites versus the poor people. It's his way of doing that. But again, the problem is like where you have a difference of the elite people are actually in power and actually have control. Here, it's like another elite power going over an elite power. It's like, that doesn't make sense. It's like, just your symbolism doesn't make sense. It's like saying, well, this dog, he's in Cowboy Bebop to symbolize the proletariat and their fight. Huh? It's asinine. It's just an attempt to try and seem smart, but not know what you're talking about. Like 85% of people who believe democratic socialism is totally not socialism. It's like, that's the name,
right?
Yeah.
In the name, right there, socialism.
But regardless of your political affiliation, I don't give two flying fucks. If you're stupid, you're stupid. If you're smart, you're smart. I don't care.
It's just not really explained why most people have accepted. It's like, oh, our saviors, they've, saved us from our shitty government, and
because they're a totalitarian government. All this.
Yeah, they hold this Unity Day rally at the end.
And
it's like,
it's never explained really how all these people are really going with it. It's like, well, like they talk about at one point, oh, well, there was these insurgents tried to attempt to do something. It's like, but why did it wait 8 years? Because this movie takes 9 years after the beginning opening where the people get vaporized. 2 people, mind you. But before that, it seems like the only thing they ever talk about was one insurgency attempt that happened to 8 years where they pretty much vaporized an entire city block. Again, if something like that was the reason why they signed an armistice with the aliens, that would be something. Or if they just took random parts of different cities, because they seem to do that, for reasons that are still never explained real well. Again, this movie is it's like explain something movie. That seems to be a running theme throughout it. Because we're just talking about the plot. We haven't even got to characters yet.
Yeah, the movie drops you right in the middle of all this. And just keeps going and going. And
you're introduced to this one guy. His name is Gabriel, who ends up with one of the kids that you saw at the beginning of this movie. And then it introduces you John Goodman's character, and then you learn Gabriel's brother's alive, and this is a big revelation because supposedly he was dead.
Yeah, they thought they'd killed him, and then they uncover it and it's like, oh, we think he's still alive.
He's alive, and it's acted like it's this big reveal, and it's like, I don't even know his name.
He's not even really that important to the
plot.
Well, even just to the
insurgency, or
to the whole
underground freedom revolution. Too. You can call it insurgency because realistically, it's an insurgency of a sort. Sorry, y'all. I had to go off screen. I was sliding. Oh, yeah. There's whole bits where it's acts like, oh, well, this insurgency, you're going to watch them doing this plot thing, and it's like, can I at least get the names of some of these assholes? The only time you ever get the names of any of these people is at the end of the movie. I mean, literal last 5 to 10 minutes.
Gabriel, because they keep saying his name over and over. Not as bad as Charles Wallace.
It's not Charles Wallace, but they call it Gabriel. I
was like, okay, I get it. His name's Gabriel. I was like, I couldn't even remember the name of his freaking brother. That was so freaking important.
Raphael.
Well, no, it was Rafe.
No, that was short. Rafe. His name is actually Raphael.
Well, I couldn't remember that, and then they were calling him Rafe, and he was credited at the end as Rafe.
Well, I think his brother one time called him Raphael. But either way, it's still, it's like, care. I still barely remember his fucking name.
But, yeah, I think he, like, said his name, like, once or twice, and I'm like, I totally forgot it later. It's like, the only one I knew was Gabriel, and it's like, oh, hey, look, there's John Goodman, who, his name is only really...
Kind of mentioned a few times near the end.
I would say, it's only really said at the end, Mulligan.
Yeah.
Which, just...
Well, Eugene Mulligan. I don't know, because IMDb's open.
No, it was like William or something. Eugene was that one dude.
I don't know, I'm stupid. William Mulligan. Yeah, there's... It drops you in the middle of this, and we were kind of talking about this earlier. It really feels like you got dropped into the last episode of a long-running alien invasion series. It's like...
Or like last season of the show. It's like not even like previously on last season.
It's so baffling. It's like, I feel like there's a lot of backstory that I'm not getting.
Yeah, like I said, it just drops you right in the middle of all this and just hits the ground running. Just keeps going. Stops once or twice to do nothing really. I mean, there's a bit of a payoff at the end. It's like, I don't freaking care.
Yeah, by the time you get done with it, like, the payoff just feels so...
Yeah, and finally there's, like, expositions like, okay, this person's kind of like their connection to each other,
and here's the big connection for it all.
And then, like, then there's a video, it's like, oh, everybody all knew each other from before all the shit went down, and like, oh, okay, and then you finally figure out the big plan, the big reveal. It's like, okay.
Yeah, and even then, it just feels so lame. Like, again, just one of the issues is because the aliens don't seem as nigh unstoppable as they make it seem that we gave up to them so easily. At
like
least
guns.
Yeah,
it's like guns. How have we not tried this? Guns.
At
right
one point,
face.
One guy rips one of their faces off, and it dies. It's like,
yeah, they look
with
like
his bare hands, bare freaking hands. It wasn't like a trained army guy. It's a guy who's freaking, I guess, a drag queen or maybe male stripper. I don't know.
I was like, they all went to a club. I think they were all kind of like in disguise at one point, and they went backstage and kind of changed back into rig. I think that's what was happening. I don't know. It was too confusing.
Yeah, because this movie, again, I don't even know the male stripper dude's name. It's just, I remember Rafe a bit, though I won't call him Raphael.
Yeah, one guy kind of dressed in drag at one point. It's like, okay. And he's never seen drag. It's like, what? What's even the point? I am so freaking,
Yeah, then you have the random preacher and bringing up stuff about Christianity, and it's like, what? Oh, don't get in a religion movie. You are already ill-equipped for whatever you're trying to do right now. This movie, like I've said, it's like, it feels like it's the end of a long-running series. But worse than that, it feels like, oh, well, you had to have watched all this other stuff or you would not get any of this. At least, hell, Infinity War. Infinity War was a massive payoff for over 10 years worth of movies. But I still would contend that people would still understand a number of different things. They may not get all the subcontext, because there is a lot of underneath stuff, but they would still understand what the hell's going on. Big bad guy trying to get powerful stones and wipe out half the universe. Alright, got it. Easy story. This, aliens sort of came to Earth and stuff has happened. Maybe these people have names. Maybe they are just nameless people.
Yeah, at least Infinity War, even if you've never seen any other Marvel movies, any of the other Avengers or Avengers related
Never
films,
read a comic.
You know, if you're dropped into this movie, you watch it for the first time, you could probably still follow along with most of it, because it's a balance of exposition and, like, even just recapping stuff from previous films, exposition.
Yeah.
And, like, and balancing that with, like, action and moving the plot forward.
Yeah. This movie is just like, oh, well, here, you're going to watch this really cool and watch how they're doing this and surgery. I don't care because I don't know these people. I don't know them.
I was like, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't know, like, they have a bomb, they're going to the rally thing, and it's like, okay, what the hell are they, what, who the hell is this guy? Is this part?
Who's this guy? Is he part of them? It's not.
I would say, like, are they, like, trying to, like, kill him? Or is he with them? And they're, what? Are they trying to, like, kill him and impersonate him? What the fuck?
That's all I felt of the whole movie. Like, there were times I looked over to Megan and we both went.
I was like, a couple times we actually just
looked at each other.
I was like, geez, I was just looking like so confused. Like, okay, do you know what's going on?
What the hell's going on?
He's like,
Stuff is happening. That's all I can tell you. God, take any movie that actually tries to make you care about an ensemble of characters. A good example that I can think of right off the top of my head, Saving Private Ryan. There was an ensemble of characters. You actually cared for each one of them. You cared when they died. Hell, Guardians of the Galaxy, just take it by itself, and it made you care. You cared about a fucking tree dying, guys. Just to put it out that way.
We are Groot.
No, daddy tree. This movie, it drops you in the middle of a story. You feel like you're missing entire chunks of the plot. And by the end of it, you're just like, I don't know what's going on and why. But I kind of was starting to figure it out because it's a mystery per se, I guess. But even then, I was kind of...
It's almost a bit of a spy thriller, I would say.
It wants to be, but at the same time, it's not like a good one. It's like Mission Impossible was a much better spy thriller. And Mission Impossible was a lot easier to guess. But also Mission Impossible was a lot more fun. Hell, even though you didn't know Ving Rhames or know why his connection to Tom Cruise was so important or why this was... You still cared about him. He still was a charismatic guy. He still had a name, though I can't always remember it. Simon Pegg's character, same thing. You at least cared about him. Tom Cruise, mostly because like, please, Tom, don't kill yourself. Please stop trying to kill yourself. If I watch a drama, will you stop trying to murder yourself trying to impress us with action moves? I like your dramas, actually. I don't mind them. Top Gun was actually pretty good in my eyes, even though it was a America movie. And even Cocktail. I actually like Cocktail. That was kind of a soap opera. Oh, just... Yeah, it wants to be a spy thriller, but it's just so bafflingly devoid of the main thing, which is character. I mean, sure, Gabriel gets a lot of character development and you feel for the poor guy, but other than that, you don't give a shit about it. And in fact, he is not in the movie for like a good 45 minutes. And I don't mean like, oh, well, he's just off to the side. I mean, literally, he's just not shown. He's just sitting there in one spot.
I would say he's trapped as one thing. We focus on all the other characters and what the hell they're doing, and they go to this one,
then these
run all over the place, and then
alien buttholes. I mean, literally, they look like buttholes.
Yeah, and finally, like, they finish doing what the hell they're doing, and then I was like, okay, now let me, like, now I'm free, I can run out of here. It's like, the hell you been doing all this time?
I'm just sitting there just with a deck of cards. Well, I can't win solitaire because I'm missing one of the fucking threes. What? Why? What is this movie?
So many things wrong with this movie.
Yeah, the CGI...
Boring, confusing.
CGI sucks. I mean, it's bad.
Pacing.
Yeah, the pacing is all over the place.
Use a bit more exposition. It's like, I know you don't... I know trying to like, oh, just kind of hit the ground running, just like, come on, let's go, you know, kind of create this sense of urgency and tension, and in a couple scenes I will even say, like, yeah, it kind of worked. I was kind of like,
oh, what's going to happen? But by the end of it, it's not less of like, oh, what's going to happen because I care about these characters. What's going to happen because I need to know what the fuck is happening.
Yeah, I was kind of like, okay, it's like, is this finally going to explain what the hell's going on? It's like,
why does this matter? Why do I care?
It's like, is this finally going to make everything make sense? What the hell? It's like, I kept waiting for that moment. It's like, It's like, please do something that's gonna make this whole thing make sense, or please somebody just stop. It's like, okay, see, this was what all just happened, or this is all what we're gonna need to do, and like just kind of sit for like 5 goddamn minutes and exposit. That's all I need, just 5 minutes. Just hell, I'll even settle for like 2 minutes. Just tell me what the fuck is going on.
Oh, I'm sorry. He didn't. I'm sorry. I said the director. I said that he directed. Whatchamadiddly, the last 2 Planet of the Apes movies. Oh, I was incorrect. He only did Rise. Rise, another movie that was woefully lacking in terms of any real exposition at times. Sorry, I correct myself there. Regardless of which, movie still was terrible. I will admit, there is some decent camera work. There is some good acting, but it's all for naught. If I give that, here, this, but it's not worth seeing.
I'm not saying the actors, what few good that there are, like John Goodman, are not really given much to do. Though I will say, John Goodman does keep you guessing. It's like, okay, which side's, what is,
where's his loyalties? What is his purpose throughout
Like, is he secretly trying to help out Gabriel, or, what's going on? What?
Yeah, and, honestly, like I said, the worst part is I think this was made in parts. And what I mean by this, I think they shot, the first few minutes of the movie, which probably is the reason why the aliens were pretty much, Golden Age Superman levels of OP. But I think they shot that 13 years ago. And then it said, we're going to then shoot this next bit. And then they shot this next bit. And then they shot the middle part a few years ago. And that's the reason why all this flows together just like a damn sewer line. It's just chock full of random shit and you're pretty sure some nuts somewhere. It's just a clumpy mess is all it is.
40 million people. This one person gets introduced, other is like, who the fuck is that? What?
And the worst part about Megan saying name getting introduced, you would think, at least give us a name. Nobody says their name. Nobody mentions who they are. They're just
nobody's even given a backstory really, except for Gabriel and his brother.
Yeah, and that's the reason why, like I said, it feels like we're in the middle of a freaking show, and we just caught the last episode. I'm like, I'm lost. Hey, that's what you're watching. Oh, okay, well, that makes a lot of sense then why I don't know what that was going on. I don't feel like I was watching
the last episode. I feel like I was more watching the last, abbreviated season. Where it's I just have to turn it on and, okay, I'm right in the middle of it. What the fuck is going on? It's gotta call a friend watches it, and it's okay, I'm watching this. What the fuck is going on? Who the fuck are these people? What the fuck are they doing? What? I'm so confused. Explain this to me.
There's a lot where you go, what? Eh? Why? If y'all
it wasn't confusing, it was boring.
Yeah, if anybody is curious about this movie, don't go see it. It's not worth your time.
If you're just that curious about it, wait until it comes out.
Wait till one of your friends, it's on their Netflix account and go watch it that way. Watch our review instead. We have pretty much told you most except for the spoiler for the end, but even then it's I will give if I can give the movie an little prop, it's that one was this, but I kind of did guess it, but again, I'm kind of the guy who can guess stuff pretty easily.
I guessed it anyways, I was kind of on the right track, just kind of
need to go a little further with your idea.
Yeah, I was okay, yeah, kind of thinking the wrong reasons, okay, just right, like I said, right track.
Yeah. It's just a piss poor film. There's little that it does right with what it was given, and it all boils down to just a horrible, horrible script and plotting that I'm pretty sure everybody who was giving their lines was what the hell does this have to do with anything? They probably were just giving it, or I bet this is probably a 4-hour-long movie that gave so much exposition, gave so much explaining about everything, and instead they gave us this, and it's I need the 4-hour movie just to understand what the hell's going on. It's like people who say Batman v Superman is only able to be understood if you watch the 3-hour-long cut. It's Alright, if your movie takes 3 hours to tell a simplistic tale as Batman and Superman fighting each other, then you need to go back to the drawing board and rewrite your script, because there's no reason that kind of plot should be that freaking long.
Well, I mean, once we have a mopey Superman who goes around killing
Yeah.
with a Dr. Fallen, like, what should I have done? Let them die? Maybe. Like,
Yeah, who knows?
then, yeah, I would definitely need to go back to the drawing board well before we got to that point of Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah, we've rewritten it for you, and that movie can easily be 2.5 hours, and even then it'd be awesome.
But still, amazed. Aquaman turned out awesome. It's like,
To be fair, I will say the director of that, he at least excels in making a interesting action movie, and hey, I guess the writers aren't too shabby. Please, Shazam, be decent. Marvel's not, or Marvel. March is not shaping up so wonderful right now. What is next week even? Oh, next week.
well, I mean, there was
Next
Captain
week's
Marvel.
us.
Like, so far, it's so good.
And then we got us.
Mmm.
But we got Dumbo. We got Dumbo at the end of the month. Sorry, my bad spin. Here to pop.
I'm not looking forward to that. Because I know I'm going to be bawling like a little bitch.
But it's a good thing to be bawling. That means the movie hits you in the core where it's supposed to. It's a good thing. It's supposed to be doing that. It's supposed to hit
At the
you.
very least, I'm going to be bawling at the baby mine scene, which they apparently left, and it's like, oh, thanks. I think my heart has finally recovered from that scene. I don't know how many years ago that I first watched it.
Hey, at least the pink elephant scene's still in there too. So that's gonna be trippy as balls. Tim
I would
Burton at the
say
helm too.
maybe. I don't know. It can go a couple different ways, but
I guess we need to give our scores on Captive State. So, what would you give this film?
while I was chewing this over earlier, I just think it's like, okay, 1, maybe a 2, if I'm feeling slightly generous. No, the more we're
Talking about the bad.
talking about it, the more we're just like, oh yeah, that was bad. Oh yeah, that was bad. Yeah, I can't help it. I gotta give it a 1. I'm sorry, John Goodman. You did your best. You get an A for effort. Unfortunately, you weren't given shit to do.
Yeah, that's true.
How about you?
I gotta give it 1 too. This movie's just not interesting. That's the biggest problem. Is a film like this should be able to keep you on the edge of your seat if it's gonna go the thriller route. It should.
Because this is
It should have good action if it decides to go the action route. It should have good acting if it decides to go the more melodramatic route. And it decides to try and go down all 3, but it falls on its face during each path right at the beginning.
I would say it's like Stretch Armstrong, everybody pulling in like 4 different directions till finally it just
Snaps.
as they all breaks.
Yeah, and because of that, this movie's just unwatchable. That's the biggest problem. Is like it's not watchable. It's a film that feels incomplete, and I can't say, oh, we'll go see it for the acting. I can't even say, oh, well, that holds up.
Yeah.
No, because it's
not even worth it.
it's not a full film. We're missing a chunk of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Jonah Hex. Though at least Jonah Hex is a lovable 60-minute piece of shit. God, Jonah Hex is such a crappy film. I will show it to you. We'll have an hour to kill one day, and we're going to watch it. The movie with credits is 77 minutes long. And the credit sequence at the beginning is so delightfully dumb. Like, Jonah Hex is one of those movies you watch and go, this is what they did? Why'd they release it this way? Oh, fuck Captive State.
Yeah, I feel so much better, like, when I looked over and you were mouthing, this is so boring.
This is so boring.
I was like, okay. I'm glad I'm not the one that felt that way. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it didn't help, like, I like Gabriel as the character in this movie. It's like, but I don't give a shit about his everyday life. It didn't help me care more about him. Oh, he works and he does stuff. Thanks.
Like
So
uploading data to this giant memory system so that the aliens can
do stuff.
like see everything that we see instead of coming to the surface, except at night.
That's never ever explained.
It's like maybe expose them to daylight.
Nah, the movie just doesn't explain what.
It explains nothing. Doesn't explain about the aliens. Doesn't explain about the situation everybody's in. Doesn't explain about the characters. Nada.
So we went ahead and explained. Don't see this.
Yeah.
But hey, we'll be back next week and probably bashing ourselves in the head with a sledgehammer because we're going to be watching Us. But hey, I might say...
We're going to be just missing Captive State after this.
maybe I might end up, taking some of our friends to go see it. Say, hey, we're going to tie you up and you're going to go watch a movie with us.
Just... let's not go to Alamo Drafthouse because I have a feeling we're going to be making snide remarks and they're going to kick us out.
Yeah. But hey, we'll be back next week with not just us, but us. But hey, we'll see y'all next week, so bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.